I think online dating doesn't have the stigma that it used to have. And you met your partner, your husband?
I did,
online?
yes. Yeah. Yes, I did.
What things can people do to be successful? Because I said on the last show that I've been online, and I think just reading your book, you talk about different things that you have to take into consideration before to make you success. Not before you can be successful, but will make you more successful online. So let's just talk about a few of those things.
Okay. I think the first thing is to definitely do that exercise of working out what you really want in a relationship. So what you ideally want, what you can tolerate, what you cannot tolerate. And you can use that to actually write your profile. And the danger...
I saw some of the... Sorry to butt in, but in your book, you have some wonderful examples in your book. So go on, and when you finished, I think I want to read one or two of those.
No problem. And anyone who's gone online for internet dating and looked at profiles, there are some really disappointing profiles online. So some people who just look like they haven't been bothered. Like I think it's one of my book where she says, I don't know, I like DVDs, I like spending time outside, and it's a school night, so I'm going to go now. And that really gives the message of I can't be bothered. Your profile is like your CV. It needs to be honed, it needs to be polished, it needs to sell you in the absolutely best way. So I would say, yes, definitely do the exercise of identifying what you want. And you want to have things in your profile that make you look different. You don't want to look like every other person who's looking for someone to go on walks with, have drinks with, go to a restaurant, chill out at home in front of a DVD. That means you're attracting, everyone and anyone, which you're not going to get a successful date out of that. So really draw out the things that you are passionate about. When you're passionate about something, people find that very attractive. So it could be a sport, it could be an interest, it could be films, it could be books. The thing about work is people will find out what you do. Some people mention it in their profile, but I think it can be off-putting and also be misleading, because you might be a surgeon, but you might be an atypical surgeon who doesn't...
lively, who's not boring. People have that perception that surgeons are boring. Surgeons are not boring, I'm just saying, just in case.
Yeah, so I would say...
In case you've been on a date with a surgeon before and he was boring, or she was boring. So
focus on what you do outside of work. You want to create hooks in your profile, because what you want to do is you want people to be able to easily write to you. So an example of a hook could be, you might love travelling, but how many other people love travelling? But you might actually say, I've recently been to Nepal climbing. So it's like, if someone's interested in Nepal or interested in climbing, it immediately gives them a hook to say, I read your profile, I'm really into climbing, never been to Nepal, but I'd love to hear about your experience. So create specific things that people can actually feed back on.
It makes it easier for them to start a conversation.
And also it gives them something specific to talk about, some common ground to actually tune into. So did you say, was your question about the profile, or was it about... Yeah, so it's...
I love this guy's profile. Is this real? Or
It is.
It's real.
They're all real in that book. I didn't make them up, Viv.
I just see he has a good sense. Of course, I picked the man's one. Why would I pick a woman's one? Not my interest. So I'll pick a man's one. And I'll just read bits of it. It says, I'm passionate about rugby, food, music, in brackets, I play saxophone, good wine, and the quality things in life. I'm very loyal, caring, and also have a wicked sense of humour with quick wit. I like that he said good sense of humour, a wicked sense of humour and quick wit, because in the first exercise you had to do, humour is one of the things that you have to be specific about, because if you're sarcastic and you like quick wit, you may rub each other off the wrong way.
Yes, that's right. Yes, yeah. And humour is something which really sustains a relationship. Humour is a survival tactic when we're going through the lows of life. So humour is so important in a relationship. And you're right. It can, someone who's very quick-witted, someone with a silly sense of humour would drive them insane.
Crazy. He says, I believe I'm quite successful and secure. I have my own place and I'm proud of the fact that I maintain it. I actually like ironing and I'm fussy about starch, collars and double cuffs and shirts. LOL. I'm pretty good cook too, but tend to use every utensil. I wash up afterwards. Which I thought was, quite funny. You can see the lighter side of him. And then he goes into what he's looking for in a lady. And he says, I'm looking for a lady who has style and a touch of elegance, who is happy, dressed up or down, a lady who has a degree of independence in thought and in deed, someone who believes respect is earned, not a right, and wants to care and be cared for. I think this guy sounds too good to be true.
I think the great thing about that profile is he's written it in a way that very much appeals to women.
Yeah.
That's what's so good about that profile.
Yeah, so he'll definitely get like 500 hits or something.
Yeah, he was very popular. I remember that. He was very popular.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, if you've got a sense of humour, it does really help in writing a profile. And I'd say if you don't, then don't try and be funny.
But you see, somebody might read this and think, oh, well, he's ruled me out. Oh, dress up, dress down, independence. Some people might get their backs up, but that's okay.
It is, yeah.
If your back is okay, if your back is up. And then he says, the person I'm looking for needs to have their own opinions. So I need someone who's not afraid to disagree with me